During our recent Ask Me Anything sermon series, there were a few questions we didn't get a chance to answer. And someone asked an honest question about Jesus and Judaism. They basically said, why or how is it that God chose Judaism for Jesus to be born into? Well, I want to stop for just a second, and I don't mean to be technical, and I'm not trying to be picky, but I do want to say Judaism is a belief structure. The Hebrew nation, the family of Abraham, that is a genealogical line. And God didn't so much choose Judaism as he chose Abraham. Because he chose Abraham, and because Abraham was of a certain descent, God created a nation out of one man. God turned that nation into a set of rules, a set of laws, Old Testament set of covenants, that became known as Judaism today. It wasn't that God chose Judaism as much as God chose one man, Abram. And if you want to know why did God choose Abram, well, Genesis chapter 15 verse 6 makes this very clear. Abram believed God, and God credited it to him for righteousness, because Abram was willing to put into practice what God said and was willing to take it to the bank. Now, there are a couple of, I think, very important things about the Hebrew people, about Abraham's descendants, that may have led to this. One, they were the people of the book, and they were a people that passed on the rules and the traditions meticulously. They took great care not to distort what they heard from God. I think that's part of the reason why he selected this group of people, because of that character trait. I also think that he chose them because they were small and because they could not take credit for all of the miraculous things that happened. In fact, God even says, listen, it's not your military, it's not your might, it's not your numbers that made you so awesome. You didn't win all of these battles when you went into the promised land because of your power. In fact, you were weaker than everybody else and smaller than everybody else. I chose to fight on your behalf. And here's the answer to your question, so that I could demonstrate to the world that it was me doing this and not you. I do think he chose this small, humble shepherd named Abraham and made him into a powerful nation that all of the nations of the earth are to this day still blessed through, because of Abraham's one descendant, Jesus Christ. Not Isaac, but Jesus Christ. Why did God choose Abraham? Well, because of his faith. There were others that had great faith at Abraham's time. A guy by the name of Job had equally great faith, but God chose this one man, Abraham, and it's not so much a faith system, Judaism. Judaism came out of the Old Testament covenant. It's the man, Abram, that God chose. And God still rewards all those that have faith in Jesus. In fact, the book of Romans, the book of Galatians says, you have Abraham's faith when you follow Jesus. You are part of Abraham's family when you surrender your soul to Abraham's son, Jesus Christ, the sinless Son of God. And this is why God chose Abram, because through this one man, he would literally invite all the nations of the earth to become part of his family. That's my honest answer to your honest question.